Hello everyone. Now in this video we shall discuss the question answer of grade 7 history chapter 5 Great Mughals. So here's the chapter of history. Let's get started first with take the correct answers. First one. The first 6 Mughals are called the Great Mughals as we have already studied in the chapter. Second one, the Sher Shah Suri was most famous ruler of which dynasty? So he was from Sur Empire, Sur dynasty. Baram Khan was appointed as the regent of this Mughal emperor. So he was Akbar. Raja Man Singh and Dash were two of most trusted officials of Akbar. So he was Raja Birbal. Raja Birbal and Raja Man Singh, these both were two of most trusted officials of Akbar. So these four we have done. Now comes this fifth number. This Mughal emperor installed a chain of justice outside his palace. So he was Aurangzeb. Sixth number, Shah Jahan failed to recover Dash from ruler of Persia. So it was Kandahar that he was failed to recover. The two new customs introduced in the court during Akbar's reign were Kurnish and Taslim, because we saw that Sizda and Pabos were introduced by Balban, Ghiyasuddin Balban, and here along with Sizda and Pabos, Kurnish and Taslim were introduced by Akbar. Now next is Dash and trade were two main sources of revenue. So it was land. Land and trade were two main sources of revenue during the Mughal Empire. So we have completed all. Take the correct answers. Now we shall move to one word answers. Whom did Babur defeat in first battle of Panipat? So he was Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi was the one, the Afghan ruler who was defeated by Babur in the first battle of Panipat. Next, name the city built by Shah Jahan. So it was Shah Jahanabad. The city was named as Shah Jahanabad, which was built by Shah Jahan. Which Mughal emperor was called Zinda Pir? So he was Aurangzeb, who was known as Zinda Pir. Why? Because of his simplicity. He was known as Zinda Pir, means living saint. Who looked after the town administration? So town administration was looked after by the Kotwal, whose office was known as Kotwali. Fifth one, which Mughal emperor carried out many reforms in the land revenue system? So he was none other than Akbar. The great Akbar brought many reforms in the land revenue system. So these are all about one word answer. Now we shall solve this crossword. First, they revolted against Aurangzeb. So we saw many groups, right? Those who revolted against Aurangzeb, they were like Jats of Agra Mathura region, Satnami, Bundela, they all revolted against him. The most powerful revolts were there of Rajputs, the Sikh, Maratha. And here we have five boxes only. So correct answer will be Sikh. Sikhs were the one who revolted against Aurangzeb. Now second down, Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan was also famous with this name, Khurram. Then third, king without a kingdom. Who was the king in the Mughal Empire without whom the kingdom ran? He was Humayun. Humayun, because he took a break and we saw that how Sur Empire was established and he fled away to Iran. Then next, fourth one, a hated tax. So the hated tax was the religious tax, jizya. Then next, Babar Ibrahim Lodi, Akbar Hemu. So it is talking about that same battle which was fought between Babar and Ibrahim Lodi and also Akbar and Hemu. So it was the Battle of Panipat. First battle was fought between Babar and Ibrahim Lodi, and the second battle of Panipat was fought between Akbar and Hemu. Then sixth number, silver coin of Sher Shah was known as Rupaya. R-U-P-I-A. Rupaya. Then seventh number, a Mansabdari rank was Zat. Z-A-T. Then 8th number, Akbar Rana Pratap. So that was the battle of Haldi Ghati that was fought between Akbar and Rana Pratap in year 1576. So here it will be written Haldi Ghati. So we have solved this crossword also. Now comes short answer question. First, what has Babur described in Tuzuke Babri? So as it was an autobiography, which is also known as Babur Nama. Here you can see also. And this is mentioned on page number 37. You can see it is page number 37. And here this book was written by Babur himself. This is why it is called an autobiography. And here he has described the physical features, climates, animals, birds, flowers, fruits, and the life of people and the places he visited. He also has written about his own life in detail. So this will be answer for D1. Now next question is, list two problems that Humayun faced when he ascended the throne. So when he ascended the throne, there were three difficulties that has specially been listed here. So you can write any of the two. Like first one, the kingdom was still without a proper system of administration. Though it was extended, the empire was expanded by Babur, but it was still without a proper system of administration. So that was the first difficulty. Second, Humayun's brothers were dissatisfied with the territories that they had been given. So these 2 points you can write in the answer. The third point is also mentioned. You can see here that the kingdom was under threat from all sides. Rajput, the ruler of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah Bahadur Shah, and the Afghans, they were also preparing to fight Humayun. So this is the third point. But here, as it's been asked only for the two problems that was faced by Humayun, so you can write this only up till here. Okay, from here till here, two problems you can list out. So this is answer for D2. D2. Now next is, how did Sher Shah encourage trade? So for this you need to come to page number 38, and here you'll come to this paragraph achievement, where you have to write, Sher Shah introduced a new currency, a silver coin called rupia. He also reduced custom duties, that was the tax over import and export, and built an excellent network of roads, including the Grand Trunk Road. All these measures encouraged trade. So this will be answer for D3. This is how he encouraged trade. He introduced new currency, reduced custom duties, and built excellent network of roads, including GT road. Now next here the question is, write two steps taken by Akbar to gain the loyalty of Rajput. So here again 3 points are mentioned, but you can write any of the 2 points. You have to refer page number 39, Rajput policies under Akbar policies. So you can write that the 2 steps taken by Akbar to gain the loyalty of Rajputs were as follow. He allowed most Rajput kings to continue ruling over the territories. This can be 1 point. And the other point, that he himself married Rajput princess Jodhabai. Means you can write this way, that Akbar married into Rajput families, and one of the example that he himself married a Rajput princess. This can be the second point. Or if you want, then you can write this point, that Akbar gave high posts to Rajput chiefs in his administration. So if you want, you can write either of the 2 points. Okay, either one, this one or this one. Okay, any of the 2 you can write. So these are answer for D4. Okay, any 2 points only you have to write. Now next is, Jahangir continued with Akbar's policy of tolerance. Justify this statement. So for this you have to come to page number 41, paragraph Jahangir the king. Now see, Jahangir continued with the secular policy of Akbar. He maintained friendly relations with the Rajputs, married into Rajput families and awarded high posts to deserving Rajput chiefs. So he was also known as people's ruler like Akbar. So this shows that he continued with the tolerant policy of Akbar. So with these lines, the statement is justified. So you can write these lines in D5. Okay. Now we have completed short answer question. Here comes the long answer question. First one. How did Babur secure his position in India? So Babur secured his position by fighting 3 battles. For this, you need to come to first page of the chapter, that is page number 37. And here's the answer. Babur fought 3 battles to secure his position in the northern India. You can see it is written here. The first battle was Battle of Panipat, which he fought against. This battle was fought between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur, in which Ibrahim Lodi was defeated. The second battle was the Battle of Hanwa, where he defeated Rana Sanga, and then after 2 years he defeated Afghan chiefs at the Battle of Ghagra. So these were the 3 battles with which he secured his position in the northern India. All these you have to write. Don't write the entire paragraph. As I told, similarly you can prepare your answer and make it shorter. So this is answer for, sorry, not D, it will be E. E1. Now next question here is discuss the military campaigns of Shah Jahan. So let's see. Here is Shah Jahan military campaign. This is the paragraph of the military campaign of Shah Jahan. You have to come to page number 42. This entire paragraph is mentioned, but no need to write all these points. You can pick up important points and then prepare your answer. Okay. So this is answer for E2. Like you can mention here the invasion of Deccan, then here next Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda also he signed a peace treaty with this, right? All these points he can mention under military campaign, that which were the places which he conquered, which he annexed. Okay. Then third question here is discuss the central and provincial administration of Mughals. So we shall come to page number 43 and here is the central administration. Under the central administration, you need to cover up all these points. All these points will be written under central administration of the Mughal period, and under the provincial administration, you have to write up till here. Means you will explain that the province was divided. Means the province were known as Suba, then it was governed by Subedar. The Suba was divided into Sarkar, which is termed as district, then each Sarkar into Pargana, and then Pargana consisted of many villages. So that will come under provincial administration. Okay. So this will be written under central administration, and that administrative division, this one will be written under the provincial administration. So this all together has to be written for the answer of E3. This is answer for E3. Okay. Now next one here is, why did Raja Todarmal introduce a new measuring device for land measurement? What was that measuring device? So here we shall come to page number 44 under revenue administration. So here, as the question has asked that what was the measuring device? So the measuring device was known as Todarmal's Bandobast. That was the measuring device. And why did he introduce this new measuring device? For that you have to write. In the past, it used to be measured with a rope. Means the land was measured with a rope, and the rope shrunk when it was dry and stretched when it was wet, due to which the measurement was not very accurate. So Todarmal introduced a new measuring device which was made up of rod, which was a rod made of bamboo reeds joined together by iron rings. And due to this, now it was very easy to measure the land accurately. So from here till here will be written for answer number E4. And then last, that device name has also been asked. So you will write Todermal's Bandobast. That this was the land revenue system which was introduced by him. Okay. Actually, you have to write from here till here only, because it is not asking for that system. It is asking for the name, means that measuring device. So this detail is enough to be written. It is not asking for any system's name. If the system's name is asked, then you have to write that Todermal's Bandobast, otherwise leave it. Okay. Now next question here is write short notes on Din-e-Lahi, Zat and Sawar. So for Zat and Sawar, you can write from here itself. The answer is written. Zat and Sawar were the Mansabdar's rank. The Mansabdar rank was divided into Zat and Sawar. Zat means it used to determine the number of soldiers under him. Under him means what? Under the Mansabdar. And Sawar means the number of horses which the Mansabdar was expected to maintain. That will be written for Zat and Sawar. This paragraph you can refer for writing the answer of E5. The second short note will be written from here, and the first short note is about Din-e-Ilahi. So you will come to page number 40, and here is the answer written. Din-e-Ilahi was very simple path. It encouraged belief in one God, that is divine monotheism. The practice of worshipping the sun, fire, and other sources of light was an important element in it. This will be written for the second half of the answer, that is E5. So that's all for the question, answer, and exercises here. We have completed all the answers. I hope you all have understood it well, and you'll do it. And then later on, you can send it on my WhatsApp for the correction. That's all for today's class. Thank you, everyone.